Hi everyone, Barnaby here. Okay, so this is Jacob Collier's favourite chord. I saw it on YouTube the other day, and basically Jacob was talking about the diminished arpeggio. Now then, I've done a video before, so this is sort of part two of sort of taking it to the next level. So check out that part one. But part two is basically, as we well know, anything that's diminished is built on minor thirds. So everything is symmetrical. So that's brilliant for us, because what that means is that there's only 3 of them to learn. And once you've learned one shape and got it down on your horn, that can be used to modulate into 4 other keys. It's the same thing that we do, it just modulates into other keys. Okay, so it's sort of like a 4-way gateway, you know, into other keys, and you can modulate wherever you want. It's great for compositions, it's great for cadenzas, it's great for your brain. I mean, I've been enjoying just sitting in a room with my trombone, just working my brain and getting it, you know, getting it all to come out and modulate into all different keys. So the thing that you've just heard, all I did was I restricted myself to only playing the chord tones. So the chord tones being the root, the third, the fifth, and the 7th usually. I think off the top of my head, I didn't play any 7s. So I only played the root, the third, the 5th, right? So the major chord, we start in C. Okay. I then use the diminished arpeggio to modulate us up a minor third. It's diminished, things go up in minor thirds. They can go down in minor thirds, they can go all over, but up in minor thirds. So what's up a minor third from C? E flat. So I'm then going to use the diminished to move us into E flat major. This is the diminished, which wants to pull us either back down to C. So it'll sound like this. I'll do it faster so you can hear it a bit better. That shape, as you can see in part 1, check that out, is it's a really strong sort of 5 shape. It's sort of going G7 flat 9. That's the shape that I'm sort of describing. So it's definitely got a 1 5 1 5. Okay, check this out. C, diminished, modulating to E flat, diminished, back to C. Okay, that was basically where we got to at the end of part 1. What you've just heard me doing is I'm taking it into all the 4 keys. So I'm going from C, upper minor third, which is, as we've said, E flat. What's upper minor third from E flat? Exactly, G flat. What's upper minor third from G flat? Yeah, A. And then what's upper minor third from A? C, back to where we were. Okay, so in between each of those, all I'm doing is hitting this diminished arpeggio. And again, that shape, when I'm in C and I'm going 5-1, I'm thinking of it as G7 flat 9. But again, we can be 5-1, 5-1 into the different keys. So we can just take G up in minor thirds. So G7 flat 9, B flat 7 flat 9, D flat 7 flat 9, or E7 flat 9. And all of those are 5 chords wanting to resolve to 1. So the example I did was just me playing the roots, starting on the roots, but I'll write down all the exercises in all the different inversions. So basically, this is what I played. I'll use those same notes in the next inversion. Etc, etc. I'll write all that down. I'll put it on my Patreon so you can all have it as a download. And yeah, I think the last thing, and again, I mentioned it in the part 1, is to be aware of where you're resolving. I think we get in a habit of when we're playing is that we always, oh, it's C major, right, ba, and you hit a G. But it's nice to have that freedom that it could be an E, it could be a C in the different ranges. So what do I mean by that? Where does that note want to go? Where does that want to resolve? Do you see what I mean? So spend time on playing that diminished. Wants to resolve there. Wants to resolve there. And then when we're going into other keys, that's modulating to E flat, you see. So just be aware of that. And again, if we can get those guide tone lines really nice and smooth, then your lines, when we speed them up and you're going for it, that they'll be all smooth and everything's totally making sense. So again, I love this, and I've been playing this with my students at the Guildhall yesterday, and it's a lot of fun. It's great getting your ear into these other keys, and actually the hard bit, if you like, the bit that sounds the hardest is actually the easiest to play, because if you've got a million patterns on that diminished, yeah, then you're often sailing, you know. So yeah, and then finally, which I will write down on the Patreon, is we only have to transpose that up 2 more semitones. So you don't have to learn it in all 12 keys. You just have to learn it in another 3 keys. It's a really good feeling, and the more you can free up with it, and obviously we can add more than just the root, the third, the fifth. We can start putting some 1 chord language in there. We can start putting a pentatonic in there, adding more notes, allowing ourselves, releasing ourselves from the chains, you know, to sort of add more notes into that 1 chord. And again, maybe I'll do another video on using the diminished scale. So now we can release ourselves out of just playing that arpeggio and using more notes. But if we've got that as a standard, as a basic, you can hear the changes already, and that's great. And again, it's really tough for your head. You know, it's good fun when you get it. So have fun with that, and I'll speak to you soon.